All right, look, last week I finished a podcast with an incredible CEO. This guy's got over 400 people on his team, huge business. And the second the cameras are off and the microphones are turned down, he pulls me off to the side and he looks real serious. He goes, Michael, how do you get them to do what you ask them to do? I said, who? He said, my team. Every time I get them motivated, every time I ask them to do something, they either don't follow through or they don't do what I ask them to do. What am I doing wrong? And I looked at him in the eyes and I said to him the same thing that I've been saying for 25 years to countless entrepreneurs all over the world. It isn't that you're doing something wrong. It isn't that you're a bad leader. It isn't even that they're lazy. There's about 7 things that you're not doing. And there's about 7 things you don't understand. That the second you understand, not only will increase your leadership, your follow through, you will be more excited to go to the office. And every one of them you could start doing immediately. So let's get into the first one right now. Here's where most leaders go wrong. You're excited. It's your business, it's your company, and you walk in and you try to inspire. You do a meeting that's amazing, everyone gets fired up, and as soon as the meeting's over, it looks like everybody's about to go to work. But they go to the restroom, they go to take a coffee break, and some of them go to lunch. You find yourself in your office frustrated and bothered. Well, the biggest reason is you're trying to motivate them. What most people don't understand is there's 2 motivations factors. Only 3% of the world are motivated by something called inspiration, by being excited, by deciding and doing, by making it happen. This is why most people that buy gym memberships do not follow through. They don't show up. Most people say they want to make sales work. They don't do it. It's unfortunate that 97% of the world are motivated by something called desperation. It doesn't mean they're negative. It doesn't mean they're bad. It doesn't mean they're lazy. It's how their internal driver works. They're motivated by things getting bad enough, then they need to make a change. It's no different than a salesperson. The 28th of the month, the 30th of the month, they turn it on for the last day and boom, they hit their numbers. Because most people wait till things are bad enough to change. Most people don't bring the car in when it's doing well to buy another one. They wait till it's beaten up and there's a problem and then they make the phone call and bring the car in after the problem. The best way you can look at this is if you put a motivation strategy on your fridge to get in better shape before your spring trip you're going on. You could put a picture of a supermodel Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the day, your head cut out, and you said, make healthy choices. You're probably gonna open up the fridge and get whatever you want. But imagine you took a picture of your face, superimposed you, made you look big, and said, unhealthy people, they don't get what they want. I promise you, you'd open up that fridge, you start reaching for the broccoli and do something different. Because the reason is most people are motivated by the idea when things are not going to work out, they'll do things. Major corporations already understand this. The time is for you to understand this. It's not about beating people up. It's about giving people the appropriate accountability and deadlines to get them to take action. Because the second part of this is you've got to understand the real driver inside of people. We know we're goal-oriented. You got goals, I got goals. If not, you wouldn't be watching this video right now. But the challenge is most people that work with companies, they're not goal-oriented. They're task-oriented. You and I will go through the things. We get up, you get the flat tire, you go to work, you do the thing. You're here for 20, 30 years down the road. You know where this company could go. They're looking to get till Friday. It doesn't mean they're unmotivated. It means they're task-oriented. A task-oriented person wants to know the task, what it looks like when it's done. If it's not done, tell them the next task. A goal-oriented person will go, 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 go. So the next time somebody in your team brings you a project that's half done, you can either give them a hard time and beat them up and totally unmotivate them and disempower them, or you can say, got it. It looks like you got it this far. Congratulations. Now it's time to get it to the next phase, and you show them what the next phase is. The coolest part about learning this is you're going to realize the difference in life. Goal-oriented, task-oriented. Goal people will go to the end of the time. They'll be rocky and climb the Himalayas and do whatever. The task people want to know what the next step is, how to get there. So instead of being frustrated by them, you've got to learn to understand them. Now, the third thing, now this is really, really important. We've all heard this very simple statement. People do not do things for logical reasons. They do them for emotional reasons. And for some reason, we think that only requires sales. But it comes down to our team. Is our team emotionally charged and emotionally involved with what's going on? Part of being emotionally involved is, which emotion is it? Your emotions or theirs? See, most people, if they're people pleasers, they'll do things for you. They don't want to make you upset. But the other way is, how do you get that internal driver of motivation and emotion inside of people? Where that comes from is pretty simple. A few years back, I was visiting an office. A big guy in town, an entrepreneur, hires me. This guy owns a huge fitness company. And when I go to his company, he takes me to this back room where they've got all these people on phones. It looked like a boiler room. And they're smiling and dialing and doing all the things they're doing. And on everybody's desk, there are two very specific things. There are two little teeny sticky notes, a yellow one and a green one. And he goes, Michael, do you know what those notes are for? I'm like, well, I don't want to get too close to the desk to ask. A bunch of lions out here making calls. He goes, each of those are the motivations of why they make the calls they make. I go, what do you mean? He goes, everyone is emotionally involved in the calls that they're making because they realize the person on the other end of the phone is helping them achieve that thing. I go, what do you mean? He goes, we've got the green note is their goal of what they want personally in their life. They want more time, more freedom, more health, whatever it is. And the yellow one is how they're going to get better at what's going on with the company. Better at sales, better at communication, better with working with people. The coolest part is everybody's out in the open. Everybody knows what everybody's goal is, and everybody's emotionally charged. Because at the end of the day, logically, everybody in your team should be wanting to work hard and make more money and do the right thing. But how many people do we know that actually do the right thing and make decisions and make things happen? Very, very few. But it's the emotions that drive people. So we've got to figure out what are their emotions? What emotionally drives them to get up each day and go to work? So imagine taking the time to sit down with your team and figure out where do they want to get in the career? Where do they want to get at their next phase of their job? And the other part is, where do they want to achieve something personally in their life? They want to take their wife on better dates. They want to do this. The second you figure this out, you don't have a company anymore. You've got a culture, and cultures are driven by emotion, not by logic. So stop thinking people should just do the right thing. That's where you got it wrong. And start realizing people do a thing, and it's time to get us to shift. Okay, so right now you're thinking, all right, Michael, I've got those three down. What about the fourth? Well, this is an important one to understand. This comes back to a study that years ago that I noticed. I called it the Montreal study because it was done in Montreal, Canada. And they were taking a look at how do you get human beings to change, to do something different? Because that's what we're asking people to do. We're asking people to change. You're saying, all right, guys, the company's doing this. We need to get here. Well, one of the things is they recognized during the study is they would hook people up to these EKGs or whatever they did and put all these like devices on them, and they got this monitor monitoring and like toot, 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 toot. And eventually they got a bunch of lines that went up and down, and they looked at them and they go, okay, got it. This is what human beings that change looks like. And they found that almost every person they worked on that talked about change, it went like this. And then they went back to their studies and they go, what else does it look like? And they realized something very interesting. Change almost had an exact representation of the line movement of the heart and the breathing of something called torture. And what that means is the same feeling when you ask someone to change or fix a habit or show up early, you're basically stimulating the same thing of waterboarding someone or beating them or torturing them. So it doesn't mean that change is torture, but what it does is it attacks the one thing inside of somebody where they feel like their biggest fear just came up. I'm not good enough, who I currently am. And number two is what I'm currently doing is not good enough to get us what I want. It's gonna take people a minute to live there. So instead of asking people to change, we gotta use a different word. There's the word right there, different. Here's something new and different that we're gonna do to get a different result. The second you share the word different, it stimulates something new and exciting. If you look at that same stimuli of new and different, what's great about that are here's where we're going next. We've already figuring this out. Here's where we're going next. So it's not like you're asking someone to change. We're asking people to get better. And the coolest part about it, the greatest leaders that get people to get things done say, listen, we're already doing great, but imagine we could get better. Because getting people motivated by why they should do something or how to do it, if that worked, Simon Sinek and everybody with their whys would be motivating everybody. But there's another term that's very powerful. It's called what if. Now, what I love about what if is, what if what we're about to learn gets you to become a better salesperson? What if this meeting was the beginning of something exciting? It stimulates a whole new opening inside of people, and it welcomes them into a different way of thinking, because our job as leaders is to develop new neural pathways, not to attack the one they currently have, to develop a new one. If you're not familiar with what a neural pathway is it's the pathway we have in our brain that creates repetitive behaviors, neurons that shoot to create a new thing. Our outcome is to create a new one where we've got a culture of people going, how can I get better? How can I do more? And that's where we create change. All right, so here's the fifth one. And this gets crazy. Most of us think we've got to push people because we've been pushed, because again, we're goal-oriented. We like the push. We don't like the push, but we'll accept the push, and we get it. You know that, I know it. The challenge is when you push people, they tend to push back. So when you start telling people, here's where you're doing wrong, or here's what I need you to do, and here's this, they should follow through, But that's not really what motivates people. What motivates people is the idea that what they're doing is good, but it's not good enough to get where they want to go. So instead of pushing, imagine letting go and creating a little space to let somebody grow. Imagine saying, you know what? You're probably right. You're probably right at this very, very simple idea. I'm certain that works somewhere. We can give it a shot. But my question is, what other options are out there? What happens is they let their guard down. They're able to take a deep breath. And in front of your eyes, you'll see. Because remember, people's innate desire is not to be in a fight. Even Mike Tyson, they read his book. I got to meet the guy. He didn't want to be in fights. He fought because that's what he did. We all want to get to a place of peace. We all want to get to a place of calmness. So our idea is not to push the other person. It's to say, you know what? You may be right. You're doing good. But imagine where we can go. It's offering people the new alternative that begins to change everything. All right, for the sixth one, this is something you're going to want to remember. You're going to want to tattoo this inside of your mind with AAA. Not the Automobile Association, but I want you to pay attention to this because you'll remember this. Here's where most leaders fail short, and they fall right on their face by doing this, is they start giving orders to people. Do this, do this, do this. And again, 3% of the world that decide and do, they'll do it. 97% of the world, they don't want to upset you. They don't want to mess up. So they start slowing down. So here's what we need to get really good at. 3 very simple things. Very clear assignment. What does the assignment look like? What does the assignment look like? Potentially even sharing a story of what it looks like when it's actually done. Second thing is, what does the accountability look like? That's the second A. There's the assignment. What is the actual assignment? The assignment is, we need to sharpen these 10 pencils and it has to be done by 3 o'clock. And if it's not done by 3 o'clock, you need to let me know why it couldn't be done by 3 o'clock, and we got to figure out who can get it done, because it needs to get done because John is going to come by and pick him up, and here's the why we need to get it done. So the point is giving someone the assignment and then the accountability. Now, the challenge when people hear the word accountability, they think, oh, we got to beat somebody up. We got to give them a hard time. We got to hold them accountable and give them the strict code. No, here's the assignment. It needs to be done by 3 o'clock because John is going to be picking up. And the one thing I learned from one of my incredible mentors that I've worked with said, and here's how much time I'd like you to take doing it. Shout out to my friend Cameron. And the coolest part about it is when you say to somebody, here is as much time as I want you to take, it's not you taking time from them, you're telling them to take, here's how much time you should take doing this, take 20 minutes and get it done. It is the assignment and is the accountability, how long it takes, when it needs to get done, and if it's not done, what happens. But the third part is the hardest part for us as leaders. It's called the authority. You've got to trust that they're going to be able to do it. Now, the coolest part about the word authority is you're going to say, I'm going to give you the authority to get this done. And if you can't, we'll figure it out later. As leaders, most of us give people assignments, some minor accountability, and very few the authority to actually get it done. You want a company of people that are motivated to do what needs to get done. Give them the authority to get it done. You'll find out real simply if they have the skills later. That's one of the biggest challenges we have. We find out our team didn't have the skills, they didn't have the ability, the motivation. We'll find it out later. But the second you give them the authority, that's where you're going to start getting your life back. That's where you're going to start having a team of people that take action, that follow through, that do what you ask, and begins to change everything. And the final, number 7, this is going to seem like something I probably should have said first, but I'm going to say it now. Most of us are waiting for our team to go first. You got to remember your name is on the door. And what I mean by that is most people on your team will typically do between 5 and 10% less of what you do, all the way down to 50% of what you do. You close 10 deals a month, they'll get 3. You get 3, we're lucky if they get 1. So our job as entrepreneurs is we need to go first. We need to learn how to lead by example. We don't have to be perfect all the time, but we need to lead in these ways. And it's not just motivating yourself and being fired up and working 24 hours a day and 7 days a week and wishing that if you did 80 hours, they'll do 40. What it truly means to you go first is we need to start doing these things ourselves. Because if we start giving people the authority, the accountability, and the assignment, then they'll start doing that with the people they work with. And we need to realize that we have got to educate these 7 things. So all of these that I shared with you today, as simple as they are to use, that's what they're there for. They're not here to watch this video and learn. So my challenge for you is to take the one that you learned, take the one that I shared with you today that you know you're going to use, and start using it immediately. The next meeting you do, start giving your team the authority and the accountability and the assignments of what needs to get done. Your time of pushing back and arguing with everybody is wasting the company dollars and destroying the bottom line. It's time to let them be, but most importantly, show them what it is that you want. That's where real change takes place. So remember this is something that is simple to do. But simple does not mean easy. It doesn't mean it's something that's natural for most people, but it's something we must get better at as entrepreneurs. For 25 years, one of the things that I've noticed with people is the more exposed you are to this way of thinking, the more you surround yourself with people that think this way, instantaneously, you will start making it natural and normal for you, because the same things that we deal with change, we think we like change, we don't either. It's tortured us. It isn't change, it's doing something different. It's changing our environment, it's changing what we learn, how we learn, and who we learn from, that allows us to implement and get what it is they want. So the big question is, how soon are you looking to apply this to your life? I know for a fact that many of you are like, I'm doing it, I'm ready to go now. And if you're looking to apply this to your life and you know that thinking this way, acting this way is going to make the big difference, I want to talk to you about something super special and super powerful that'll change everything for you. For the last 20 years, I've been teaching a system called human interaction technology. It's the highest level neuroscience in the world for entrepreneurs, to get them to motivate themselves, their teams, to empower their teams, most importantly, empower others to buy from them, listen to them, and improve relationships in their life. And the best part about it is it's perfect for you. It's perfect for somebody that would watch something like this, that wants to make their team better. All you've got to do right now on this page, you're going to see down below a very, very simple link. You click the link, it'll take you to a page, and here's what happens. And on that page, after you watch that video, you're getting an opportunity to apply to human interaction technology, and an opportunity for you and I to potentially get on the phone and talk more if it's right for you. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're driven and you want to play bigger and you got a team that you care about the people in your life, it is time for you to level up. Apply now, and I'm excited about working with you.